It's really nice just to hear, as always, just the personal reflections. Is anyone here for the first time? I thought there was a couple folks. Welcome, y'all. This is one of our last two sessions here in this space. We'll have one more week next week. So it's cool to see a lot of people here. This is also representative of why we're moving into another space, to have a little bit more room, which has been a good problem, but a problem we've been struggling with for a minute now. So we'll have a little more room and space. And so what we'll do next is we're going to meditate for about 15 to 20 minutes. So just, finding any way to sit that feels good for you. I like to encourage this balance of feeling upright but also relaxed. Taking your time, settling in. And as the body starts to rest in the seat, allowing the mind to rest in the body in the same way. And we'll begin and end with the sound of the bell. So to begin, we can start with a few longer, slower, deeper breaths, if that feels supportive for you, just at your own rhythm, your own pace, trusting your body, what you might need. Kind of slowing down the nervous system from productivity mode to just being mode. And then as you feel ready, letting go of any control over the breath and just allowing the body to breathe naturally. Trusting, again, the wisdom of the body to breathe all on its own. And starting to recognize this quality of awareness or presence, the very simple knowing of the mind. What is it that's aware of the breath? Awareness isn't something you have to manufacture or create. It's something that's already happening. It's central to the human experience. And so allowing the mind to rest in that quality of knowing and the rhythm of the breath, both of which can happen all on their own. So we're letting these two things meet each other, find a sense of harmony and togetherness. Just allowing the thinking mind to be like a friend, but letting it fall to the background of experience. And making this immediate experience of the body and the breath what we call the anchor for the meditation. The mind wants something to do, so we give it something to do. Just follow the full inhalation, the pause, the full exhalation and the pause. And staying with the rhythm of the breath and softening. Starting at the top of the head, relaxing the forehead, the eyes, the muscles of the thinking mind, the brain. The jaw, the mouth. This face which makes so many expressions every day. What does it feel like to relax those muscles and not have to be anyone right now? No one has any expectations of your face right now. Scanning through the shoulder blades, relaxing the arms and the hands. And feeling the whole body relax around this kind of upright axis of the spine, if that's possible for you. Softening the chest, the stomach, the belly. And notice as you scan through this kind of emotional center of the body, what's here, what's fresh right now. Inviting in some ease and softness with the musculature of the abdomen or the stomach, the chest. And also with what's present emotionally. Inviting in that attitude of kindness, welcome. The attitude of mindfulness is non-judging. So we're not trying to get things perfect. Just staying with the rhythm of the breath, noticing what's arising, and meeting it with this quality of acceptance, non-entanglement. And scanning down into the legs, the lower half of the body, which sometimes can feel so far away. Inviting in a sense of intimacy with the lower half of the body, feeling the contact with your seat, feeling the flow of energy coming from the breath down into the legs, and relaxing the upper legs through the knees, the lower legs and the feet. Allowing for this process of samadhi or unification to occur, for the body to feel whole. The mind, the heart, and the body all breathing together. So coming to this whole body awareness and staying with that rhythm of the breath in whatever way feels supportive for you. And noticing in the mind if there's anything being held. Is there anything that the mind is gripping, trying to manage, fix, control? And just naming it when you notice it, naming the pattern. Maybe there's a part of the mind that's trying to meditate really, really well right now. Just noticing that. Trying. She immediately invites in some space. Maybe there's planning, resisting, judging. Everything is welcome here. But in naming it, can give the mind permission to not get swept or pulled away into some of these patterns. And if there is any holding or fixing or grasping, where do you notice that in the body? Where do you notice it in the mind? Just inviting in this attitude of curiosity, not trying to get rid of anything or solving anything, but just simply knowing it. And with whatever is happening in the mind, giving it some breathing room. Sometimes it can be helpful to be aware of the space around you, the body, and also space behind you, in front of you. This body is not separate from the air around us. Sometimes giving that expansive awareness can help the mind feel a little less cramped, a little more spacious. Noticing also if there's any ease in your experience. Is there any space between the thoughts? Is there any calm in the body? Even if it's 1 or 2%. Any release? All of these words, these beautiful words that were shared before the meditation. Noticing that in your immediate experience now. As we stay with the breath for these last few minutes, what would it feel like to not have to hold anything at all? So many important things in this life. And it's equally important to give the mind a moment to reset, to set down the pressure, and to return to the simplicity of just being alive. And what if this awareness itself was already free? All we're doing is untangling the mind and uncovering something that's already here. May any goodness that comes from this practice be shared with our community, with those we know, with those we don't know. In some small way, may this practice be of benefit to the very real suffering of this world. May it be a part of all that is good and sacred. And move this collective humanity towards freedom and liberation from greed and hatred and delusion. So may all living beings, human, non-human, on this world, not in this world, those we can see, those we can't see, may all beings be free from suffering. Ben, who posts these talks and videos that we record, me and Olivia know that we always say the same thing after every meditation, which is, it feels so good to all just sit here in a room together. So now after every time, I'm like, I'm not going to say the same thing I always say. But it does. So really appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to do something a little different today. For those of you that came late, Olivia was going to give the talk tonight, but she has a back strain and is in bed healing and resting. And since the weather was decent, I thought we could give an opportunity for walking meditation for those that would like to. And the practice is simple. You can walk just like a normal human being. You don't have to do anything fancy unless you want to. But the encouragement, since we're in an urban environment, is to really be aware of your surroundings. Yeah. You know, traditionally on retreat, you would often go like in a meditation path and walk back and forth. But I'm really into this kind of urban version of this, which is using the whole body. You know, so in seated meditation, we use the breath as the anchor. In walking meditation, the footsteps are the anchor. But it doesn't have to be just the feet. The whole body and the movement is really what you give the mind something to feel grounded in. And then the same practices apply. So being aware of what's around you, noticing when the mind wanders, bringing it back. And I think it's such a great bridge, an example of how to bring meditation or mindfulness off of seated meditation and into daily life. I'm a really big fan of it. And we have this beautiful park right across the street too, so you might want to wander that direction for a little more of a peaceful environment. And yeah, why don't we do about 15 minutes? Give yourself some time. Walk at your own pace, whatever you feel comfortable with. And if people don't want to walk, you're more than welcome to stay here. I'm going to stay here and guard the fort. And we'll meet back here at 7:20.